Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Kingdom Conversations with Lonzine Lee. The intro is silent. I know you didn't hear any music, but that's because I haven't had the soundbite made by some of my friends, and I did want to start with it. So pretty soon you're going to hear a song too, and that's going to be great. Today is, as always, it's a special Tuesday to me because I am blessed to be able to talk to people I really enjoy talking with. Some that I've known for a while, and others that are new to me. But my God, I'm just so blessed to be on a platform like this and to do the things that I do. So I want to say hi to you. So make sure, remember, we do roll call, and let's just let us know that you're here, and then you'll be able to have the bragging rights to say, "Hey, you guys, I was watching a online broadcast and they said my name." Yes, we will if we get to it. I don't promise, but a lot of times we do. What we're going to do is we're going to open in prayer. My guests today are here from Tampa. They're live streaming from Tampa, Florida, and they're here to have a healthy, wealthy, and wise kind of kingdom conversation. And what that really means is that they're going to share about the power of the love that they walk in together and with God, and for the people that are around them, and family and friends and just a whole lot of other stuff. You're going to hear so much wisdom, so much insight, and because they are very, very funny, I believe that you will be tickled as well, and so maybe that'll get rid of some of the oppressions or things that are happening with you. But that's enough of that. Let me go ahead and pray so that I can introduce to you two very beloved people, Apostle Raymond Williams and his beautiful wife, Carrie. Father, we thank you for today. I thank you for the opportunities that you grant us to go places on air that we might not ever go physically. I thank you for the people that you call from the north, the south, the east, and the west to hear and to listen and to hearken and to step in and to be able to flow in the things of the kingdom of God. I thank you for the way, Holy Spirit, that you speak through each of us and you communicate very clearly what it is that you desire for us to hear and to know and to do and to be. And so I thank you for the blessing over today's broadcast. I thank you for the ears and the hearts and the eyes and the minds and so forth of all of your people for us to be open to you and closed to anything that would be a distraction or a destruction. We bless you, we praise you, and we thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen. And so today I want to welcome back for one, and for the first time to the other, Apostle Raymond Williams and Carrie Williams. And come on in because I'm not sure. Now, I thought that there was something that was going on with you, beautiful Sister Carrie, where you were being installed in something, but I'm not quite sure. So you'll have to correct me on that. But they are from Tampa, Florida, forbidden to fail. And now I'm going to mute while you introduce yourselves. And if people find out why I love you so much. Hi, Miss Geraldine. Go ahead.
Hey, sis, thanks so much for everything. It's a blessing. It is always a blessing to be on the broadcast with you. You and Mom, like you guys are like some of the most funnest people to hang out with and just chill. And Mom and I have so much fun every time we get together. And then when you and I get together, it's just a party. And so thanks again for inviting us on. It's humbling to be on this platform and just have an opportunity to have a voice anywhere that God would put us. So thank you so much. But to everyone, hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending upon where you're watching us from. God bless you all. My name is Raymond Williams. This is my beautiful wife, Carrie. And I think when you were talking about the installation, yeah, so she was installed as a pastor some time back, and God has just been doing great things in her life. And I'll let her talk a little bit about what God's doing in her. She's actually sharing on the page. That's why she's looking down, just kind of sharing through her Facebook page. But that's who we are, and that's what we're doing, and all that good stuff. So I'll let her say something about herself and all that good stuff.
So hey everybody, hey Lonzine, it's good to be with you this evening. Hey Boo, it's
Hey,
good to
what's
be
up,
with you.
girl?
Listen, he already introduced me. I'm Carrie. And yeah, about 2 years ago, I was installed as a
2 years ago,
pastor.
yep.
Yeah, installed as a pastor. God is doing great things with the health, my health, right, in our financial area with wealth, and just downloading some great things in our lives and some vision. He's given us vision to see further than where we are. So yeah, God is doing some great things, and we're excited to be here today. I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want us to say right now, so I'll digress. Oh, continue. Well, so talk a little bit about who we are. So I'm a pastor here in the Tampa, Florida area. I pastor a beautiful, growing church, Forbidden to Fail. Been pastoring that church. We just crossed our 20th year mark, And so God has just been, it's been phenomenal. The work there is just super. It's got some great, crazy people there who are just crazy for the Lord. And some are just crazy, right? It was just awesome. And God's just doing great things. And I love that church. I love the work we're doing. I love the sons and daughters that God has entrusted me to raise there. And it's just phenomenal. It is a blessing. Also, I host a daily morning broadcast, Inspiring Transformation, which is now in its third year. And we go live every single morning, 5 days a week, 5:45 a.m., Monday through Friday. And it's just a blessing. We take weekends and holidays off. And so it is truly a blessing, and God is doing great things. And we've been able to meet people all over the world through this broadcast. The interesting thing for me, what's really exciting, and this is not a downplay to anyone's broadcast or whatever they do live, but this is not your typical, let's go live. I did a live yesterday. This is an actual organized broadcast that has people organized from all over the world, Africa, Trinidad. I mean, you name it. It's just people all over the world. We come together, and it's a real community. We have real prayer. So Monday through Thursdays, we have a actual conversation of a certain topic. And every week the topic changes. And then every single Friday, we have what we call Friday. Well, the people have called it over the years Friday Fire. And that's a time when we just spend time in prayer. And it hosts from 5:45 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. So it's only in half an hour, 35 minutes. And it's very structured to that so that we can respect and honor people's time and value the folks that are coming on. And it has just grown, and it is phenomenal. And I am in love with it. And so God is doing great things. So we want to talk a little bit about our marriage ministry.
Sure. So we have a marriage ministry that's called ROC, R-O-C, and it's entitled Refreshing Our Covenant. And that marriage ministry has really gone beyond what we can imagine.
Yeah.
We have so many couples that we're counseling, mentoring, and gaining new ones all the time. People we don't even know, people we've met through the Inspiring Transformation broadcast. A couple we've actually met through Dr. Baker that we're counseling, and they live all the way in California.
Yeah.
And so that ministry is really taken off. And so we're excited about that. And God is really moving in that ministry.
Yeah. Rock is our baby. That's our baby in our arms. We love marriage. We're passionate about marriage. And we're passionate about other people's marriage and the success of their marriage. So it's been a lot of fun meeting new people and pouring into them, and even gaining wisdom and insight from them, things that we can add to our bucket of tools to kind of go over and help the next couple. So it's just been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So we're on a good journey right now. God is doing awesome things for us, and we're enjoying enjoying the excitement.
Enjoying the ride.
That's who we are. It's what we're doing.
That's what I really love about the two of you. And you notice I held that up because when I was looking on your website, and that's the picture, it talks on the other side of it is your vision and your mission. But it was your 5 core values that I'm going to reference in a minute. But one of the things that I wanted to let people know, and by the way, if you're watching on different, because they watch us on YouTube and you watch us on Facebook, go ahead and tell us that you're here. We actually love to acknowledge you and to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. I wanted to tell you about your 5:45 program. That's 2:45 in the morning here. So a couple of times when I've been up and I'm actually supposed to, it's time to go to bed, but I'll catch you. And that's when you see my little like or my hi, but I know I'm not staying around because I'd be snoring through. Not because you're boring, because you're not, but because it's like, girl, you got to go to bed. So, but
right.
And it's exactly like you say. I love the way you do the morning greetings and the way everybody feels so welcome when they come on, come on board and stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't put my name in there because it's like, I'm going to bed. So it's like, I'm not going to do that, but I've seen it.
A funny story about being up at that time of the night. So weird things go on in my house. Like no, who does what goes on in this house other than who lives in this house, right? So this morning, about 2:00 this morning, I woke up. and I got my light on my phone very dim. She can't see. I mean, she sleeps across the whole bed anyways. So, I'm in my little corner cubby in the hole, and I'm just reading and I'm writing and I've got vision and I'm just God's pouring it out of me. So she says, "Hey," she can't even see me unless she opens her eyes. And so she turned and reached over me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm talking to the Lord. I'm writing. What's up? Why aren't you asleep? Because I'm not asleep. She said, I've got vision. She said, "Well, can God give you that in the morning when you're awake?" I said, "Well, technically I'm awake now." So, so we got this fight going on because I'm not asleep. And I said, so anyway, when you said that, I'm like, who? And I said to her, I said, "Will you just go back to sleep?" So, it was just funny. That's all.
You two are hilarious. That's what I'm saying. See, that's just that funny real thing. Kelly Smith, Minister Kelly Smith, welcome. So glad that you're watching. And I've said hi to Miss Geraldine Dory. She's from Chicago. And I want to say hello to everyone else that's joining.
Oh,
I've seen
Kelly,
some
God
people
bless
on
you.
Facebook.
God bless you, Miss
Yeah.
Geraldine.
Yeah, she's called G Force, and she's gorgeous. She's absolutely
Wow.
fabulous.
Wonderful.
It's really fabulous. So there's a lot of them that sometimes they don't want to tell you that they're here, but they'll make their comments because some of them come in like they just showed up at a party, like, "Hey, I'm here. Good to see you." Okay. One of the another thing that I loved, and I want to touch on it, but I do want to talk about. It's up to you, whichever way you want to go. The 5 core values, since it's in front of
Mhm.
me, that you said was to encourage and promote communication, and we're talking about healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I think it's wisdom to have core values that you exercise in relationship. Even your fight was funny. It makes so much sense knowing the way the two of you talk. Because really what she told you is, I'm not asleep. You're moving. You're moving at a time when you should be sleeping because I sleep. I'm attuned to that. When you start moving in that little corner, it's wrecking me because I don't know if I get the real estate or not. And if I'm not going to get the space, you be still and occupy. Otherwise, get out and I'll take it all. So anyway, that might be
That's it. That sounds about right. That sums it up.
makes sense to me. So, but because you have things solidified and you've shared openly about how you two decided we're going to get some help, we want to go for the long haul. You've been married for quite a while, but you did something I think it is so wise. You want to go for the long haul. So you took a look at things to say this is some areas where we can tune up or where we can get rid of or whatever it is that you chose to do. And in so doing, you're so scriptural because now you can comfort others with the same comfort that you have had. And so these core values to encourage and to promote communication as opposed to shutting people down, to encourage and promote, and all of them are encourage and promote serving and unity and romance. Dude, how often do you find that on a church website? First time ever. Okay, so it's stuff like that. I'm in California, remember? And then encourage and promote submission and love. Powerful, powerful things. I think it must have flowed into what you did for your health. It has to flow into what you did for your wealth. So I want to give the platform to the two of you to just kind of take us on a little bit of a journey.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay. So I guess we want to start.
How did we get there?
How did we get there?
The clothes.
Oh, the core values. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we'll start with a little bit of marriage. We won't turn this whole thing into marriage because we're really excited about talking about this health journey that we've been on. So in regards to our marriage, we've had our share of real dark places, some really, really dark, uncomfortable places in this journey of marriage, navigating through some of the nuances that we had to deal with coming through, growing into this place of maturity. And so we've been married. We just celebrated 29 years of marriage, 32 years of dating. And it's probably within the last 2 to 3, maybe 4 years that we kind of got into that sweet spot of really loving each other in a biblical fashion, really submitting to one another and submitting to God together. Would you agree with that? Was that about right? Because there was a time where she would be submitted to God, and I'm just like, I'm fighting the whole system. And then I'm like, like, okay, I'm ready, Big Daddy, let's do this. And then she's like, well, it's too late. I'm fighting the system. but we both have come to a place where we realize that we want our marriage more than anyone else wants
Right.
it for us. Was that about right?
That was about right. If
And
anybody's going to fight, we would be the ones fighting.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we just came to that agreement, and we sat down not long ago, and so our marriage has never been like, I'm not saying that over the last few years it's been horrible. I'm just saying that it took us some time to really find that place where we really started to understand the purpose in which God put us together and why we are here to serve one another. I mean, we've got a great marriage. We've always had a great relationship, but it was just something about finding that sweet spot. We would always argue. We never really argued because we don't argue well, so we just don't argue at all, right? We don't yell at each other. We don't say disrespectful things. But what we will do, or what we used to do, is we would shut down on each other in a minute. We'd go dark in a heartbeat, like
It was easy.
yeah, it was easy. Like we're having dinner 3, 4, 5 days, and we're just sitting there at the counter talk. We're just eating. Nobody said anything. Hey, pass me that. Pass me that. How's your day? All right. How's yours? All right. And we just keep it moving. And so there was just those pockets where we got in, and we just got tired of it. We really got tired of it. And we came to our senses and said, you know what, we need help. So we reached out. So of course we've got our spiritual father, Mark Jones, who's always a blessing to us and always praying over us. But then we also reached beyond our spiritual father and beyond our normal context of relationships. And we got a therapist. We got a real licensed paid therapist to help us work through some of the complexities of our relationship. And I believe it has been a jewel for us.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Most definitely. It's helped us in a lot of areas. And we came with the conclusion that we needed help. We didn't have, no one told us we needed help. No one, got a vision that we needed help. We came together and we was like, something's not right. We need help. And so we went out and sought the help. We actually took 16 weeks of a marriage class. And it was amazing. I mean, you think you know everything, but then when you walk in that room, and we had made a decision that, we didn't want to be called out because 1 or 2 people knew who we were. We just want to come and sit and learn. And so we sat there, and in our minds, we both said, we know nothing.
Yeah.
Right. We know nothing. We're going in empty. And I'm telling you, when we left every week, we left full.
Yeah.
We left with so much wisdom. Someone was actually pouring into us. We done poured out and poured out and poured out. And now we're getting poured into, and we realized we needed that. Like we really needed
And it's
that.
interesting because you're talking about 2 people who have been doing marriage ministry and mentoring couples for, over 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's just really heightened over the last few years. We just made it because we decided we didn't want to be that couple who was known to impact the lives of marriages, but our own marriage went down the toilet.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to be that couple. So we decided to go and enrich ourselves so that we'd have more tools and we'd be more stable. And so, we've got some non-negotiables in our marriage. And there's a few things that we've set in stone. It's just not negotiable. This is what we're going to do. This is what we do. This is how this goes. And we don't negotiate that. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And so, and sometime if you want, we can talk about mentoring, because we believe there's a difference between counseling marriage and mentoring marriage. And so we love mentoring marriage. It's a lot of fun. A lot of cool things happen. In regards to financial piece, God's just doing some crazy, wild things for us. It's just, it's a blessing right now. We don't have what a lot of people have, but we don't have what a lot of people have. So if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So we might not have the as many zeros behind some of the numbers that we have, and we may not have as much, the type of car and vehicle and the type of home some people live in, but we don't have that. We don't have that debt. We're debt free. We don't have that financial stress over our life. We do very well. We're able to help people and bless people, and we're able to just live our life very comfortably. We're not stressed about anything, and what we don't have, we don't stress about it. We just believe in living a very simple. Modest life and enjoying Jesus along the way. And every now and then
you're spreading wealth, though. That's what I wanted to say. The way that you talk about that, you're talking about a soundness of mind that says when more money comes, because of course it will. Why? Because of the way you pour out, it's your trusted vessels to be poured into, because you're not going to you've already maintained a level of life that you like. And so the extra is viewed as that to do what? To help to promote others. I think it's such a, mom likes to use the word balance very specifically. And so what I'm going to say is this is where soundness of mind comes, because I think balance is when we are in alignment with everything that God says and that God
Mhm.
delights, as opposed to maybe some of the secular definitions. But that's exactly what the two of you're promoting health. I don't know how many married people are out there that are looking, going, I want what this, because you come across as whole, and you come across as sound, and you come across as real, because you are not telling us that it's a plastic, beautiful, perfect place. I heard a comedian talking about certain celebrities that were perfect, and he said, see, the problem with that is you have two people that think they're so perfect that one has to be above the other. And he said, so of course they didn't last. And he said more, but what I got really was, the idea was, when one person thinks more highly of themselves than they do of the person that they're one flesh with. You two don't do that. And then as far as single people, or people that are opting, or one day will marry, they're going to be like, okay, what's their contact info? And remember to put that up there so that people can get it all throughout. I will tell you, it's called Forbidden to Fail. Is the name of their church, and you can go and find that online. Look who just said hi to you.
Hi, Mom. How are you, beautiful?
So there you go. But I know you want to talk more about the health part of it, but I just wanted to really commend you, because it is, when you can get a husband and a wife to sit here and to talk, to laugh over the little arguments, to to share, to do the type of interaction that the two of you do. That's a very genuine thing. And I, before we switch over, because I think it's powerful, and ladies and gentlemen, if you want the 5 core values, they are on their website, and you can go there, and they have things that you can register for a session and do some other stuff. And also they give here the vision and the mission, which I want to say, adding value to marriage relationships globally. And their vision is to help couples identify challenges that may disrupt the harmony within their marriage relationship. And it is also their vision to assist you in obtaining the resources needed to resolve such challenges, so that together the husband and wife can serve one another as God intended when he joined them together. And they said this: we desire to assist married couples globally in bringing glory to God as the original designer of the marriage covenant. And their mission is to add that value to every marriage relationship. So there's more to it. They do it by one-on-one counseling, workshops, mentoring, the preaching and the teaching of God's word, seminars, the small group sessions, and other resources. So I wanted to share that because it impacted me. I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
And
you very
I
much.
wanted people, to do that. So I know we were also talking, though, about in terms of health. And Raymond, especially, you have done some things, and you posted the journey. And then Carrie, I've seen you, girl. So let's talk about strike a pose.
Yeah, this it's been a wonderful journey. So I started my journey almost 2 years ago. And well, I started kind of researching my journey almost 2 years ago. A year ago, last year, I began that journey. And so I've had about 9, maybe 10 months into a very, very disciplined journey for me. Just really looking at my life differently as I get older. Just really looking at things a little bit different. My wife came along. She's always done great, here and there, but she really got disciplined and came along probably 7 months, about maybe 7 months ago. And so it's just been very, very interesting. And it's my wife is pretty interesting. Her journey is really super interesting because it's blown me out of the water. I mean, it's blowing me away to see the gains that she's making and the results that she's getting. The fact that she's even doing it this long. So I've always worked out. I mean, I've worked out for many years and tried to stay fit, tried to stay healthy, things of that nature. And I would talk to her often. Hey, what are you going to do? Come on up here to this level. Come on. And she's like, no. So we tried it a few times, and she said, no, you're what did you call me?
Taskmaster.
you a hard taskmaster. And I'm like, no, you asked me to be your coach, and you asked me because she'd say, hey, I want you to hold me accountable. And I want you to make sure that you watch what I eat and make sure. I said, okay. So I walk through the house and I'm just filling up the whole trash can with cupcakes and cookies. And she's like, she come home, hey, where is such and such? It's gone. It's down the road behind that big blue truck that picks up the trash. Like, and she's like, why'd you throw it? I'm like, look, I'm not going to fight with you. You asked me to hold you accountable, right? And I told you what this, you understood the process when you said yes. And so
I fired him like 3 times.
Oh, she fired me 3. She fired me 3. I quit 4, and I'm so like, man, I'm done. But what happened was when she said to me, she said, I'm serious about this. My health is serious. I said, okay. So I called my boxing coach and I said, hey, man, how much do you charge for a session for people? He said, it depends on who it is. If you're talking about you, it's free. I said, no, I just need to know. And he gave me the price. I said, I want you to come to my house and I need you to sit down and I want you to have a session with my wife. Would you do that? He said, I'd love to. So when he got here, before he got started, I cashed apped him the price of the session. And he said, the hour session, he said, look, I told you I didn't want it. I said this, I said, let me tell you why. There's 2 reasons I cash apped you this money, though you said you didn't want it. Number 1, your time is valuable. Let's just, that's that. I said, but that's a small, mediocre reason. The biggest reason I paid you is because it's possible that my wife is going to do absolutely nothing with the information you give her. And I meant, right? I said, it's possible that we are going to collect information and do nothing with it. So therefore, I don't want you to ever take this personal. So you've gotten paid for your information. What we do with it is up to us. And so they were talking. It was an hour session. I was probably gone out of the room because I had a Zoom meeting. I was probably gone at least 45 of those minutes. When I got back into the living room where they were sitting talking, she was lit up, smiling, laughing. He was lit up. They were going through these little things on the phone with exercises. And from that day to this day, she has not stopped. Like, I don't know what he said to her. I mean, and so every time she jacks up now and gets out of line, I say, you know what? Let me call Carlos. No, okay, I'm all right. You ain't got to call Carlos, right? Because if I couldn't get it done, I know he can get it done. So it's just been a lot of fun watching her and just spending time with her and celebrating her gains and celebrating her achievements. And every time she turns to a mirror and to see her face light up, and it's cost me a lot of money because I've had to change a lot of clothes, like whole wardrobes, right? Like I'm saying, okay, but it's just been so much fun, and I'm so proud of her. As far as me, my journey is a lot different. It's more personal for me, just really, really super personal. I'm a big fanatic about holistic foods, and we do some really weird stuff in this house. Every single morning, we take 2 big tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Just drink that, which is great for the blood pressure. It's great for, I mean, you name it. It's great for it. It keeps the your blood flow moving. It keeps your vessels open so that your blood flows. It minimizes the risk of cardiac arrest because you've got blood flow running well through your veins and arteries. We also take vitamin D every other day. We take vitamin D. We take vitamin B every morning. So that's got me supercharged. I actually went back in, I think it was latter part of August. I went on a 45 or 42 day fruit and vegetables, just strictly fruits, raw fruits and vegetables. I had some steamed vegetables, but just fruits and vegetables, no soda. Well, I don't drink soda anyway, but no juices outside of juicing my own juice. I make my own almond milk. We make our own almond milk here at the house. So that's been really, the vitamin D in that is high. So just doing things like that has been a great journey for me. And so when I first started this journey some 11 months ago, my weight was about 214. I'm now weighing in anywhere between 181 and 183. I feel like a cyborg, like unstoppable. Right now there's a few aches and pains in some areas for some various things, but for that, other than that, I feel amazing. I really, really feel amazing. My life has changed. My blood pressure is running between 101 and 103 and 117 over 66, 66, 67. And so I feel phenomenal there. I've got a lot of good blood flow in my body at 51 years old, like blood flow, brothers. So I feel amazing. I feel great. And God is doing great things with me. So we're super excited about what we're doing. We're not fully plant-based, but we have a lot of plant-based in our meal selection. We don't eat a lot of saturated fats. We don't fry food here. Occasionally I fry fish in olive oil, but we don't do that. I have not eaten meat personally in almost a year. I think 2 months, in another 2 months, it'll be a year since I've eaten any meat. I eat fish only. I don't consider myself a vegetarian or anything like that. I just don't eat meat. And I originally stopped eating meat almost a year ago because I doing deep dive research and some of the, just the pains your body go through and et cetera. I started discovering that one of the issues might have been that I had a lot of inflammation in my body. And so I cut out the meat and the inflammation dried up, just began to dry up. And so I feel amazing. My body feels it's thanking me at 51 years old. I honestly, I don't remember feeling this good in my body when I was 20 years old. So I
Wow.
really feel amazing. So you want to say anything, Sugar? So yeah, I feel great. And that's kind of a little bit of our journey. If you got any specific questions, we'll answer those, but that's kind of where we've gone and where we are with our health journey.
I think the thing that is best, and I love what you said, is the fact that one of the things is it's just been a theme throughout everything we're talking about. The way that you two approached your marriage, the way that you've approached your health, you catching it before. So you're looking at things ahead of the curve, not a causation like now you have to. Now the doctor's report has said this. Now the ambulance has come to take you, and so you're going to have to make changes. You didn't do that. You're doing this stuff so voluntarily, and that's what I think is so powerful about it. The fact that um, I won't go into this, but I can simply tell you that I know what it was like to be in a marriage where my partner did not approve of the way I looked, and it was an issue. And I don't think that either party's personal appearance, weight, or anything else should ever be an issue in the marriage. That has to be something that is an issue for that person. And I think that's where the support part comes. And I see that. I see the thread of that with the two of you. And I pray that what happened is that brings healing to some other people, that's just the one thing in their, in their relationships, that they're learning, wait a minute, there's another way to do it. You stepping away even for 45 minutes and a trainer coming to say some things from his place of expertise. One thing that I can imagine, I had a personal trainer for a couple of years up until the 2020 stuff. And then after that is when I started eating right. Now I'm back in the place now where I've got the one and the other. So now you're starting to put the two together, which is the power that it needs. But what I wanted to say is based on that, the food thing happened because it did, the way it is and the way you run your home. But the other part, her motivation could never be you. It had to be the motivation that was happening on the inside of her. And so
Exactly.
I want to know, do you want to share anything about that? Um, Maybe not necessarily what sparked you, but just the way that it something else had to happen. That spark was, it seems to me, is like an internal fire because
Most
you
def-
had to keep it going. So have at it.
Most definitely. I think I had to hear another voice. For so long, it's always been the voice of my husband. How to do it, when to do it, if to do it, and not in a bad way, just, hearing his voice. And when Carlos came in, I'm telling you, he made it sound so simple, right? I fired my husband like 3 times because I felt like he was making it really hard for me. Um,
I was glad when she fired me. Like I was like this weight lifted off. I'm like, fine. Cause I there was sometimes I did quit a couple of times, but then there were a few times I'm like, I can't quit right now because but when you fired me, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. No, I'm
um,
just kidding. I'm really kidding.
are you really kidding? No,
Tell
okay.
the story.
So when he came in and started talking, he just really made it sound much easier than I was making it or made it out to be. Like my mind had to change about being healthier, eating healthier, doing things different. Because in my mind, I really thought when you talk about workout, you had to get in that gym and you had to kill yourself, right? I thought about eating healthy where, before he came in, you had to stop cold turkey eating all this stuff and you only could eat this and this. But that's not, I did it wrong. And I did it wrong so many times. And so when I did it right this time, listening to his voice and just how he broke stuff down and what it really looked like and how you really needed to do it, it just made it really simple for me.
Yeah.
And so now, I still eat meat, but honestly, I don't even eat meat often. Like I really eat a lot of plant-based stuff. If I want a chicken wing, I'm gonna have a chicken wing. And so that's my mindset, right? But really, I really just listening to him just really just changed a lot of my mind. It was my mind. Like my mind was caught up in, you got to work out for a whole hour, you got to lift weights, you got to beat yourself up, you got to do all this stuff, when really that wasn't it. And I really took some notes to what he said. He said work out 15 minutes, and you don't even have to do it every day. Just make sure that you're moving your body. But when you are working out, 15 minutes intentional, right? And then learning that I can still have, bread, or I can still do this, but it's a certain kind of bread and it's a certain kind of dish. So it was just my mindset had to change. And since my mindset has changed, I've really been keeping it going. So I've actually lost about 13 pounds. So I'm excited about that. And I see the difference and I'm excited. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was really good.
it was so refreshing to see her excitement that she could still eat the meals that she desired. But and I think what happened with us is I was uneducated trying to teach her something from my point of view. Just because something was working for me and my metabolism and my body type and all of this technical stuff didn't mean it's going to work for her.
Right.
And when he came in and talked with her, this guy has just been a gift to our family. Number one, Carlos Morgan with CM Fitness is just amazing. He's a great human being. He is a precious brother. He's an adorable friend. I mean, this guy is amazing, right? And he loves her so deeply and so richly. Just really cares about her health and her goals. And when he got through talking with her and presenting things, what I saw was I was not qualified to help her along that part of the journey. I could celebrate with her, but I couldn't give her the tools she needed because she loves pasta and she didn't want to give those things up. But she doesn't have to give them up because she still eats pasta. Who eats pasta when they want to and still lose 13 pounds?
Come on.
But it was when she eats the pasta and
eat
how
it.
she eats the pasta.
Yeah.
And I'll say this one last thing before you jump in there, Lonzine, that I just share with you in almost 9 months or 10 months, I've gone from 214 pounds down to 181, 183 pounds. A lot of my weight, no kidding, a lot of my weight comes from walking every day, right? But I've been walking involuntarily. So because the way we schedule we structure the schedule for her.
Mm-hmm.
So she works out. Her schedule is you work out one day. She wanted to walk every other day. That's what she wanted. And so I don't need that kind of walking because I work out. So I'm burning. However, in order for her to achieve her goals, I walk every day now. And so I've been walking every day with her to make sure that she can fulfill her goals. Sometimes I feel like a little chihuahua. I'm just out there walking, just running around the neighborhood, just walking. And but it's beautiful.
It's great conversation.
It's great.
We meet people.
It's enriched our conversation. It's brought us closer together.
Yes.
And she is reaching her goals. And for me, that's a win-win.
You did a powerful thing. I love that all of it, the togetherness part, the working together. But you said something, you both said it. And I love the fact that what you said is, Carrie said, I have a need for another voice. You did not take insult. You did not determine, oh no, I'm your husband. It has to be me. And I ain't going to have any other man or any other person coming in here. You didn't do that. And that shows, and mom is watching, and I know she would say that that's so much maturity. That's so much growth and humility, and it's really looking out one for another. See why I wanted y'all here. And the fact that but then you took another step. And I think this is so smooth on your part, bro. Okay, you want another voice? I'll get you another voice. It's not gonna just be any voice. See, that was went all the way right there. It's like,
Right.
I will find you a voice, baby. I
A
got
voice
you.
that I trust.
A voice
You
that
caught
I
that,
trust.
didn't you?
Because I'm gonna leave for 45 minutes. It's a voice that I trust. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was, but she trusts you. And so it just, y'all just like in this love together, out the road, singing in the back. You know what I mean? It is,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. And I don't know if there's something that you might want to say, because you've talked about health, you've talked about wealth. You're telling us that the three factors that have to do with, in relationships, with three of money being a big problem, causes of divorce. They say money is the cause, but it's not. But the arguments that are had over that, arguments that people have over how the other party looks, or who gets to speak to them, and so forth. You're already showing us what those non-negotiables are. And so I would like, for sure, for you to give encouragement to individuals that are listening. Geraldine says you're securing your relationship with your wife and your masculinity, and that's just straight on up. Okay.
Thank you for that love offering, Geraldine. I appreciate that.
And
Thank you.
and Carrie is secure in who she is. That she's not. She knows how to articulate. I don't want this one as much as I love you. I need somebody other than. There's such a respect between the two of you guys. I almost want to cry, because it is, I believe it's the heart of the Father. He gives us him, he gives us Jesus, and he gives us the Holy Ghost. So which voice do I need to hear today, God? Because God's like, I will provide the voice for you, but yes, I will give you another voice to hear. And
Wow.
so what would you like to say to people that are watching? Some of your folks are watching, I'm sure, and or people who will watch this on a rebroadcast, because we're real big in the ratings on a rebroadcast. So what
Oh, wow.
and also even to people that are, because everybody knows my questions are two parts, are complicated, but I'm making it simple. To the people that are currently in their marital relationship, and to those that are considering, that may be in the courting phase, or the whatever, the dating, I think that should be the same, but anyway, that are running into these problems early because of how they're currently thinking or acting.
I don't know if I'm sorry, sweetheart. Go
No, I
ahead.
don't say that was a good question.
Okay. I don't know if I said this the last time I was with you, but I believe, so we have premarital counselings, right? What we call them. I personally believe in some kind of way, I'm going to find a way to get this message out to the world. Definitely churches, and definitely men, and I believe we don't only need premarital counseling. I believe there should be pre-engagement counseling. Pre-proposal counseling. I believe before a man proposes to a woman, he should get counseling first, so that he could determine, we get premarital counseling to determine, should we get married. I think that's probably a little bit too late to be getting counseling, honestly, because we're knee deep into a relationship. I've already asked for your hand in marriage. So if we're not going to get married, we got a whole relationship at a different level that's about to be torn apart. We got all these emotionals. But if I can get pre-proposal before, hey, so and so, I'm thinking about proposing to Carrie. I'd like to get several weeks of counseling before I set up this proposal deal, because I might discover I need to hold off. I'm not ready to ask that woman for her hand yet. And so therefore, and she never knew it. She never knew it. So therefore, I don't run the risk of breaking her or me, because I wasn't ready to ask her for her hand. And she prematurely said yes. And now we got this big fiesta going on. So anyway, that's just kind of my rant on that. You want to say something, sweetheart? So in regards to what we would say to couples now, so I want to address something that you said, and I think this will be an encouragement to couples. You mentioned, how we look sometimes. I could not agree with you more in regards to, accepting people for who they are and how they are. Now, I'm going to say this because I want to talk to both sides, right? I'm going to talk to the individual who might have a certain look about themselves, and then the recipient who has to deal with that. I believe that when you meet a person and this is their life, or maybe they've gone through a health situation, there's certain circumstances they can't control, and their body gets a certain type, maybe a little thinner, maybe a little heavier, whatever the case is, right? That's somebody, you have to love them. You have to deal with that. You have to pray with them. You have to encourage them. And you should be willing to go through that relationship and put your eyes on their heart versus the outer extremities of the heart, right? The other side to that is I think it's unfair. Let me use Carrie and I. It's unfair if I just deliberately let myself go and not take care of myself and get out of shape, get unhealthy, get sick, and just deliberately neglect my health, and then put her in a position where she now has to live with that. I shouldn't put her in a position where she has to live with a certain type of body type, and that's not her desire, because I have just neglected myself. It's a difference. She learns to accept, it doesn't matter what I want. This is my husband. I love him. But on the other spectrum, I should at least have enough love for her in this marriage to at least keep myself as healthy as possible for as long as possible. That means I should look as healthy as possible. It doesn't mean she's never. So this is not prophecy. This is fact. She's never going to get the the 20-year-old me she met when I looked like somebody had chiseled me from a brick wall. She's never going to get that again. That's not prophecy. That's fact, because I'm never working out like that again, ever. Like, those days are gone. That thrill is past. She's got me. I got her. She ain't going nowhere. I got her locked down. When she begged me to marry her, and I said, let me think about it. I fasted. I said, okay, why not? You need me. Come on. Now I'm just kidding. Before you look, don't be Facebooking me. I'm just kidding. But we're here now, right? However, what I will do, she's not getting that anymore. But what I will do is I will maintain what she has. I will do that. I will do my best. And she's doing her best. And whether she did this or whether she gained weight or lost weight, this is my wife. And this is who God gave me. And I married her heart, not her body. Though I like looking at her body, but I married her heart. So I would encourage you all there. I would encourage anybody who might be finding themselves right now. What happened? What I missed?
Reach your mom.
My mom said lie. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with mom. I'm not even gonna do that today. But I would say to you all who might be navigating through some rough weathers, that anything's possible. Lonzine mentioned earlier, about that breakdown with money and the arguments and things. 3 things destroy a marriage: money, sex, and communication. Those are the 3 dominant factors that contribute to destroying a marriage. The number 1 factor is communication. We don't have to have any money. As long as we can communicate about where it's going, how we're going to navigate through this together, we got to communicate about this money. There shouldn't be any arguments, disputes. And if someone is mismanaging money, then we need to find a way to communicate how we get help. And then that help will encourage you. It might mean that he doesn't need to be on the bank account right now. It might mean that she doesn't need to be on the major bank account. She needs her own little money because she can't be responsible, or he can't be responsible. And then they grow into that through therapy and counseling so that we have that joint account again, because you should have a joint account if you're married. You should, if you're married. Okay, that's for married folk. But we don't have to have sex. as long as we communicate it right. But we got to communicate that right. And so if we communicate it right, we can navigate through these complexities, through these complications. And so wherever you might find yourself right now in your marriage, I want to encourage you to get the help you need. You know, make your marriage the most important thing. Marriage is pretty important to God. I've said this before, I think on one of these broadcasts, that marriage is so important to God that it is the only thing that he ever used throughout scripture from Genesis to Revelation and all in between. It is the only thing, the only example he ever used to give the example to model the relationship between Christ and the church. That means that marriage is pretty important and you can do it. And if you are having success, now watch this. If you're having success, I'm not going to tell you to keep on doing what you're doing. If you're having success, I'm going to tell you, you now have a fiduciary responsibility to now go and help another marriage. You've got a responsibility to go and to pour into another couple who might be having some troubles and need what God has given you. Yeah. Because when Paul talked about the wife submitting to the husband in Ephesians chapter 5, and the husband loving the wife as Christ loved the church, this communication, this union is not designed so that you want to be more like us. This union is designed so that you see more of him and want to be more like him. So we encourage you to find the help you need. And if you've got some health complications, I want to encourage you. You know, sometimes I'm a witness. I know what it's like to be sitting on the edge of the bed at 2 a.m. It doesn't matter how anointed you are. It doesn't matter how many scriptures you know. And it doesn't matter how much you pray and prophesy. None of that matters. Life can toss some stuff your way every now and then. You might not tell anybody about it. You might not bring it out in your sermon, and you might not testify in Sunday morning service about it. But life can bring you to your knees sometime. And life can have you sitting up in the dark at the edge of the bed, and your mind has left your body for the winter, and you got some crazy stuff going on because you don't know what's going on in your body, this pain and that ache, and what's going on here, and this shaking and that shaking, and this is new, and I didn't have this before I went to bed. All this stuff. I want to encourage you that it's well, that God is able. He's a healer, and I'm a witness that he's a healer. But I'm also a witness that whether you see changes in symptoms or not, he's still God. And he's going to bring you through this. And sometimes the Lord will allow us to suffer even in our health, right? And I know we've got a lot of prosperity stuff right now, and it's all about being prosperous. And if you got illness in your body, you need to check God. And where are you with God? You better ask Job, won't God allow your body go through something for his glorification? So don't panic. Don't think you've done something wrong unless you can pinpoint something wrong. But trust the Father in this hour of your life, in your health, in your marriage, and in your finances. And I'm a living witness that he made a promise in his word. Psalms chapter 100. Nope, that's the wrong Psalm. He made a promise in his word. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. Right. Deuteronomy. Thank you, sweetheart. Deuteronomy 31:6. Deuteronomy 31:6. He said, I'll never leave you and I'll never forsake you. And so I just want to encourage you with that.
Most definitely. And I just want to say, to end that up, is the most important thing you can say to yourself, or the most important thing you can do for yourself, is daily encourage yourself, because you may not get that from anybody else. Your marriage may be, in a place, you may be in a place. Encourage yourself, give yourself, let yourself know that I'm okay. And if I'm not okay, I'm going to be okay, because I put things in place to be okay. You have to learn that you are important, like who you are, where you are. You're important. Don't ever forget about yourself. Even being in a marriage that may be a little off at times, don't ever forget about yourself. You are important, and you have to remember that.
Lonzine, can I read a comment that somebody wrote? This is Danielle Furman, one of my Inspiring Transformation family members. Hey, girl, God bless you. Good to see you. Aaron Gibbons, my son, is with us. God bless you, young man. One of my spiritual sons there. So many beautiful people are with us. Mama Mildred, my daughter, God bless you, Mildred Taylor, one of my spiritual daughters. Love you so much. All these beautiful people. Thank you all so much. Shaniqua is with us. God bless you, young lady. Yolanda George, good morning. I was going to say good morning.
Afternoon,
Good
not
evening.
morning.
Stephen Manning, how you doing, Apostle? Good to see Adrian Mumford. Good. Thank y'all so much for supporting what my sister is doing. She's doing a phenomenal job in California, and we just thank God for Lonzine. So thank y'all for coming on. But there's a comment that Danielle wrote here. She says, my cousin got married, and shortly after she was married, she found out that she had breast cancer. Her husband supported her through chemo, radiation, and no hair, and they are still happily married. What a beautiful, beautiful testimony. What a beautiful test. That's what's up. That's what it's all about.
That's it.
That's what it's about.
That's it. You see, you guys have, I believe that you've released a lot of wholeness, a lot of health, a lot of wealth, and a lot of wisdom today. And I really pray that people will look you up, those that have need of what God has through you, and or tell somebody else about it. And that includes, give the shout out again to your friend, the boxing. What was his name again?
Carlos Morgan. Yes. He does. You can find him on Facebook at CM Fitness, or you can just inbox me, reach out to me. I can connect you directly to him. He does virtual trainings. He does one-on-one trainings. He does group sessions. The guy is just amazing. Absolutely.
Okay, I might reach out to him for virtual because I like boxing. I actually like violent stuff. So
absolutely, he can do that.
Okay. So anyway, they will, she says, Dr. Baker says, I send referrals. So there's a lot of comments. Go back and read through them. We're actually at the end. And you two, this is so precious. I'm so glad. They're in Tampa, Florida, by the way, and they're going to let you know that, because I'm going to give them that moment to say what they need to say. I just wanted to say, I really look forward to seeing y'all. I'm in Orlando. I think we're coming in. I know we're coming in the last week in April, and we'll be there into May, beginning of May. So it's that very last one. So I know we're going to see each other for sure. So why don't you, before I do the close and do the final things, end your part with how you do what you do?
Well, we'd like to thank everyone, first of all, for being with us and sharing, and all the love offerings that you all wrote in the comment sections. Thank you. It's so kind of you to speak so well of us. Thank you so much. And to our sister Lonzine, it is, girl, you don't even know how much you're loved. Like for real. We love you. We love you. We love Mom. We love ourselves, some y'all. And you're just so awesome, and you're so pleasant. And we're thankful. We're really thankful for you. Thank you for this opportunity. For everyone that's out there, we just want you to, if you don't remember anything else that we've said, we don't ever want you to forget these next few words. It doesn't matter what it looks like, and it doesn't matter what it sounds like. You are absolutely, positively, 100%, unquestionably forbidden to fail. Purpose is waiting on you. Engage it. Hey, we love you. God bless you. And thanks again. Have a great day.
Thank you all for doing that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to talking to you on air again, and also to seeing you and hugging you. I want to remind you all that Prophet Margie Florent has a prayer program that comes on, I think it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's right here on Kingdom First TV. I want to also direct you to www.love-unity.org so that you can look and find out about the upcoming convergences, one in San Jose, California at the beginning of February, and then the second one that's going to take place in Baskin Ridge, New Jersey at the end part of March. So anything else you want to find out, being a Kingdom First TV broadcaster, or any of the other wonderful things and the other programs that are there, please make sure that you check it out, or download the app, or check us out on YouTube. So we've come to the end of the program today. I'm happy and honored to say that my guest next week is Apostle Calvin Cook. And we have had ourselves a time here. Remember what they told you. We are forbidden to fail. And as you know, when you join me, you haven't just had a conversation. Today, it was a healthy, wealthy, and wise kind of kingdom conversation. My name is Lonzine Lee. I'm here with Apostle Raymond and Pastor Carrie Williams. We want to thank you all for joining us and spending time with us today. And we'll see you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Kingdom First TV, your station for kingdom